Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of That's Wild. I also realised that I've been doing my intro wrong the whole time because my podcast is called That's Wild and then it's with Tegan, but I've been saying That's Wild with Tegan, but it's just called That's Wild. So I don't know where that came from, but anyway, welcome back for another episode. I hope you had a good week. I literally almost died because I had to sip of my drink and it went down the wrong way and I felt like I couldn't breathe. So my voice is still recovering from the amount of coughing that I just did. But welcome back and I hope you did have a good week. I had a very interesting week, a very fun week actually. It was very fun. I did lots of activities and new things. So let's talk about it. Pardon me. So I went to Ascot on the last weekend, and that was very fun. My first time going to Ascot or any form of horse race. And it was definitely exactly what I expected, but also very different in a way, because I knew that Ascot was very I say posh, but it's not posh. It's just because everyone dresses to a different level. Like, everyone goes over the top for Ascot because it's the royal one. So, like, all of the men are wearing suits and tails and, what they call top hats. And then the women wear, like, very classy dresses with heels and a fascinator. Again, I'm like, in my ideal world, I would much rather be in a suit, tail, top hat. That's my bag. But it was 34 degrees, so I'm like, can't do that, so I'm gonna wear a dress. And I wore a dress. And don't get me wrong, I love the dress, I love how it looked in it. But it's just not me. And so I felt like I was in costume the whole day. It was very strange to me. But other than that, I enjoyed it because we went with the company called Gorgeous Getaways. And it's basically an area of Ascot that is like cornered off for just you people. And it was like seating for 200 people, I think, but it wasn't that busy actually. And within our little area, we have like our own DJ, our own cocktail bar, and our own like seating area where you can sit all day, and it was very nice. But the whole idea of it that is based around black culture, so pretty much everyone in that area was black, and the music was like true black music. It kind of felt like you were going to like a wedding. It's basically a black wedding with all of the songs, all of the tunes, and everyone was dancing and then betting and then dancing and then betting. And to be honest, I totally forgot about the whole racing aspect of it until I actually saw on the screen the horses running. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that part of this. And I only bet once because I didn't know what I'm betting on. I don't understand the racing culture, so I didn't know who was good and who wasn't. There was a guy that was next to us, on the table next to us, and he kept winning. So I was like, okay, who should I bet on? Tell me who I should bet on, and I'll go bet on that. And then he told me, but the queue was so long that by the time I got to the front, the race had started. So I had to bet on the next race, and I had no one to ask. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I picked the only name in the book that I thought was cool, which was Marvel Man, because I love Marvel movies. So I was like, I'll go with Marvel Man, and I lost. But it was still good fun, and I enjoyed watching the actual racing and being around black culture in that environment. It was really nice because I never would have went to Ascot if it wasn't for this particular experience of being surrounded by people that look like me and like the culture that I loved and that I'm in within a different area. It was so nice. So I very much enjoyed that, and I will be going next year, hopefully. I already asked my granddad, because my granddad loves racing, but he'd never been to the races. So I was like, okay, next year I might bring my granddad and he can tell me who to put on. He can sit in the chair and enjoy his music and watch the races. I feel like he would love that. So I'm definitely going to try and go back next year. And yeah, if you ever do want to go, it's such a vibe. Like, and it is, I feel like racing is like the easiest avenue to get into sport, to get into horses, because you don't really have to understand the logistics of it and like the rules. It's literally like, you can be a beginner and the one that gets to the end first wins. So it's just a good day to like watch and vibe. So if you do want to get into any horsing sport, it's a good place to start, I think. But anyway, I enjoyed that, and I did feel a bit weird in the dress, but other than that, it was all good, and I enjoyed the experience. So thank you very much to Gorgeous Getaways and Cool Ridings for inviting me. I love you guys. And also my mum went and she loved it, so it was good fun all around. What else happened this week? Oh, the main subject. Well, no, not really. The other, I'm so hot. It's like 24 degrees in this car. I didn't realise how hot it actually was until I sat in here without aircon. Well, okay. But the other thing that I was going to talk about was that I absolutely love music. Like, I love music. Music is the only other thing that is like horses to me, because the horses relax my body in a different way. Like, I can't describe it. It changes the way that my body works and for the better. And music does something similar, because when I am sat next to a big ass radio, what are they called? Speaker. A big ass speaker that had the biggest bass, and I just let that bass vibrate through my body. It makes me relax so much. And I love just feeling music. I love the feel of it. And first of all, at the races they had amazing music. Like, we were dancing all day. It was amazing. But anyway, I've been starting to go to more concerts recently because I love music, and I decided that I'm going to start going to the concerts, even if I don't know a lot of the songs. But I'm still going to go for the vibe of it. So this year I've booked a lot of concerts, and it is concert season, and I'm so excited for it. And last week I went to Chris Brown. See, that was a last minute decision, so you can't hate me. But it was amazing. It was so good. It was very long. It was probably like a 4-hour concert, because they had Bryce and Tyler as the opener, and he had a DJ in between, and then it was Chris Brown, and then it was a DJ again, and then it was Chris Brown again. So it was a very long concert, but it was still good. And it was like my entire childhood in one show, and every song that, like, even though I thought I'm probably not going to know all these songs, I knew pretty much all these songs, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it so much. And then I also saw a new artist to me, which I've only, see, this is funny, because I found this artist through her TikTok that had nothing to do with music. I followed her for ages as a TikToker because I just loved her. And then I realised that she did music, and I was like, okay, cool. Started listening to the music. I was like, yeah, I vibe with that. And then I think it was like a month ago, I thought that she was playing in Bristol. I was like, let's just go. Let's book it, because why not? And it was so fun. I went to Peach PRC. She's an Australian lesbian pink very cool artist, and she's so good. And she also pole dances, and she had like a song in a set where she does a dance on the pole. Brilliant, loved it. It was so good, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I had the best time. And now I have, I think, 5 more concerts that I'm attending, and I really want to book more. I even booked a concert in Amsterdam because London sold out, and I really want to see this artist. So I was like, fuck it, let's go to Amsterdam. So in September, I'm going to Amsterdam to see the guys. I haven't booked a flight, I haven't booked my accommodation, but I'll figure that out. That's something for Tegan in the future to work out. Right now, Tegan just knows that she's going to Amsterdam to see one of her favourite artists, which is amazing. And even though, see, I did an episode like ages ago about accessibility in concerts, and that still is a struggle. Like, I do struggle to find accessible tickets that actually are good, good seats and good views. But I still don't want to not have that experience because I didn't get a good seat, if you know what I mean. Like, but also I am fortunate in the way that I can kind of sit anywhere. I don't have to have the accessibility ticket, but it helps if I do. So I always try and book whatever show I want to go to, because it's like once in a lifetime. Like, I might not see them again, so I'm just gonna book it and go and enjoy and reap the repercussions after. Is that the word? I think it is. I don't know. But anyway, I booked lots of shows, and I'm very excited for all of them. I think my favourite, obviously my number one is Billie Eilish, which is in, I think, like 14 days, so 2 weeks. So excited. And then I might also be going twice to Billie Eilish, which I've never done like 2 shows of the same artist like in the same week. And I've never done that, but for Billie, I would just love to see her more than once. So I'm trying to get another ticket, even though they're so expensive. I'm like, I really want to just like have that experience, and because you never know when you're going to see him again. So, but anyway, I've enjoyed that a lot. I've enjoyed the aspect of looking forward to concerts, and just enjoying music, because that is one thing that I absolutely love. I have music on in the house all the time. My car, I had an amazing sound system, and I turn the bass up in my car, so when I play music in my car, the windows shake because it's that loud, and that's how I like to listen to music. And yes, I probably am going to lose hearing at some point, but I still enjoyed the experience, so that's how much I love music. And I did a little rant on social media because I keep seeing so many influencers being invited to all these concerts, and they never invite any disabled influencers, and I'm like, I'm right here, like, I'm more than happy to go. And they also invite influencers that don't actually know the artist, or don't know the songs, and I'm like, I'm right here, guys, I'm right here. Just invite me and I'll be there, please. Please, I wanna go. I wanna go so bad. Invite me, I'm right here, please. So hopefully they'll get the message, and they'll start inviting me to any concert. I don't even mind. I have a list, but I don't mind who I see, honestly. Especially if it's free, like, take me anywhere, please. Anyway, the other thing that happened, do you know what? I'm gonna have to open the door because I'm gonna start to sweat. It's so hot in here. I think it's like 25 degrees in my car, so you're gonna hear children voices, but because I am starting to sweat, I'm so hot. Anyway, okay, the hair has to go up. It's too hot in here. It's so hot. Anyway, the other exciting thing that I have done this week is that I got botox. And before you guess, well, actually, I have a guess. Have a guess where I got botox. I'll give you 5 seconds, ready? You're wrong. You're probably wrong at least, but I didn't get any botox in my face. I didn't get any botox there, unfortunately. But for those of you who don't know, botox were originally invented for medical purposes, not for cosmetic purposes. And the reason why I get Botox is because of my disability, my nerves they send signals to my muscles, which cause spasms and high tone. So I get Botox because the Botox freezes the nerves, which means that my body doesn't get those signals, and then my muscles are more relaxed. So that is why I get Botox. And I first got Botox when I was really young because I couldn't open my hand. My hand was like a fist all the time. So I got Botox when I was really young, and then I only got that once, and then I was able to open and close my hand. And since then I've been fine with that. Then I got Botox again when I was about 15, and I got 13 injections in my right arm because they thought that was a good idea. It wasn't. It really wasn't. But I was a child, so I just did whatever they thought was right. And I was known to be a guinea pig within the medical industry. People would just try things on me and then see whether it worked, and then use me as a case study for other people, basically. So I had 13 injections in my right arm, and immediately after I woke up, it felt amazing because I could use my arm equally in the same way that I use my other arm. But then after a week, they say that after a week is when it really settles in and when you feel the maximum effect. After a week, my whole arm went stuffing. It just flopped around. I had no control over it. And the reason why it was it was so traumatic, mainly because I was out of school and I just couldn't do anything. I just had to learn to do everything with one hand. And then I already hated doing physio and going to the gym and stuff. So then I had to train more to be able to use that arm again. I was basically like a baby learning to use the hand and fingers again and learning how to do everything with my arm again. It was horrible. And especially because I'm a horse rider, I then have to figure out how to horse ride one-handed, but also learning how to reuse the arm again. It was complicated. It was so complicated. And I actually I competed at the national championships with my arm still floppy. And in the end, the only solution that we found was to Velcro I had a Velcro hand splint that Velcroed my hand to the reins of the horse so that I could still hold the rein. But I think at that point I had some strength back in my arm, but I had no grip. So the Velcro glove just helped me grip the rein. And in that competition, my horse spooked and started galloping around with me. And because I knew that I was strapped on, I was like, I'm either gonna fall and get dragged, or I need to undo this thing. As I'm going around, I'm trying to unstrap myself from the reins. So I'm like, I don't want to break my arm if I don't undo this. And surprisingly, I stayed on the whole time. I think because I knew that if I fell off, I was so unsure that the Velcro would undo. I made sure that I stayed on. And I was just going around in circles for ages until the horse stopped. But anyway, that time the Botox didn't work very well for me because they put too much in my arm. And because of that, I got scared and I didn't do Botox for a very long time after that. So I basically didn't get Botox for but I got Botox first, I think 2 years ago, or maybe last year. It might even have been last year. So there was a very big gap between me getting Botox again. And I only started getting it again because the doctor that I found, he was very supportive and he knew how important it was for me to not lose total control. And he knew that my goals were to get to... He knew that my goals with riding was to get to a 3-star international, and then what we're also working towards now regarding the World Games. And he's very good at he, well, he's terrified. He always said, Tegan, that I don't want to fuck you up and be the reason why you can't compete. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, either way, it's not your fault. Either way, it's not your fault. And he's like, yeah, but it is. I don't want to be the reason. And I'm like, okay. But he's very good at fitting me in routinely and doing the dosage that I like, that I know work. And he's been amazing. So he's the reason why I started getting Botox again. And I've been getting Botox for the last year now in my traps. I don't know the long words for it, but basically the muscle between your neck and your shoulder. And I got it there because it was so tight in there that I could not feel my back muscles. Like, I couldn't feel anything but that. And since we've done that, I now have control and perception of my back muscles, which is really useful. And then the other problem that I've been having is my right leg, my adductor is so tight, and the adductor is the muscle in between, no, the inside of your thigh. So it goes from, like, but I mean, don't quote me on this because I'm not a doctor. I don't know where the actual muscle is, but it's basically in between your leg, like from your knee to your hip, on the inside of your leg, basically. And my adductor is so tight that I have no perception of my glute muscle on the outside of my leg. So because of that, my right leg always forward inward, and my knee collapses inward, and my foot rotates inward. And I've had a lot of issues with horse riding, but also like walking and day-to-day life, because I rotate so much inwards that I've been getting knee problems, I've been getting hip problems, I've been getting ankle problems. I'm always rolling my ankle and it hurts so bad. And it's all because that muscle is so tight and I'm not able to correct the other side of my leg. So we originally were gonna do this Botox in October and wait until I finish my competition season, because we didn't know how it was gonna work. We didn't know what the outcome would be like. But I'm not riding now for at least 6 weeks because Coco has an injury. So I messaged him and was like, I think we should just do it now, because now is a good time to figure out everything. And essentially, if it fucks me up, I have 6 weeks to get it better. And he's just so funny because he's like, are you sure? Like, I really don't want to do it, but if you want to do it and if you want to work on it, then fine. But like, if it fucks you up and you have to ride sooner, this is gonna be annoying. And I'm like, it's fine, don't worry, I believe that it's gonna be all fine. I believe in you. And so basically, we ended up doing it on Wednesday, so a few days ago. And right now, it feels okay. The issue is that we don't know how my body will be after, because we've never relaxed this particular muscle. And he always said, like, it might affect the way that you walk, it might affect the way that you sit, it might affect the way that you drive, it might affect the way that you ride. It might affect so many things, but we just don't know. So, in my head, I was like, this could either be really shit or it could be really good, but I just think it can't ever be as bad as losing my whole arm. Like, my leg isn't gonna go completely jelly, so it's just gonna be a bit more relaxed, and I'll have to train more and get used to it, but it's gonna be fine. But it was so strange, because when they actually injected the muscle, you can feel the effect of the medication almost immediately. And I had like, because obviously when they inject, the actual Botox travels down that muscle, so he only injects it in one place and then it spreads across the whole muscle. and I could feel it. It was like a wave of liquid going down my muscle, and my muscle instantly was more relaxed. And I felt it relax from like the abductor muscle all the way down to my ankle. And I was like, whoa, this is a bit weird. And I mean, I've only had it for 2 days now, but I have noticed that I'm much more flexible, which is different for me because I'm usually always tight on that leg, and I've done a lot of stretching over the last 2 days, and it's way more flexible. And then because I've lost the tension in that muscle, my rotation of that leg is now different. Like I'm basically, you know, the way that ballerinas stand in like the I don't know what it's called, but like with their heels together. Do you know what I mean? But I've always struggled doing that, and now that leg is able to rotate outward, and that never used to be a thing. So I feel like it's doing something, and it's working, and I'm interested to see how this goes. What is annoying for me is that I now have to train a lot over the next 6 weeks to strengthen my glutes so that I can then use that more over the adductors. Basically with botox, it wears off after 3 months. So I have 3 months basically to strengthen my glutes to a better place, and that when that muscle does turn back on, or when the botox wears off, my glute is stronger and I'm able to still correct my muscle. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be botoxing it, but ever. The botox is just a temporary solution to loosen it, to loosen that muscle so that I can strengthen my other muscles. But I only kind of realized that today. Because I realized, Tegan, you have to go to the gym like a lot more now. And that is very sad for me because I don't like going to the gym, but I'm committed to the process. So I will be going to the gym. And I always laugh because my doctor, or what would they call my camera died. But I was saying my doctor is actually a neurologist because the botox is used to treat neurological, what word? Neurological condition? Is that the word? But he's a neurologist, he's not a cosmetic person. And I always try and ask him, like, can't we just do like a little bit in my forehead or like a little bit here? And he always says, Tegan, I'm not being in charge of turning you into a Kardashian. I find it so funny. He's like, yeah, we're not doing that, girl. But anyway, that's the update of the week, is that I've had Botox in my adductors, and I will be getting my traps done again in a few months. I think I had my traps done just before the end of June. What month are we in now? We're why can't I count back a month? May. I had my traps done in May, and they are now at a point where they are a lot looser, and this will last me until August. So that's nice. Don't have to worry about that. And my back muscles are doing so much better. So I'm excited to see how this process goes. And I'm excited to document how, like, if this works. Because I've tried everything with video and different therapies and massage to try and get this muscle to a relaxed enough place so that I can train my glutes and my hamstrings. And it just wouldn't work for me. So I'm excited to see if this works and to update you with the process, I guess. But now I have to go to the gym, which is absolutely tragic. But I have to go to the gym now to start training. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you had a good week. And if you do enjoy listening to my podcast, don't forget to leave a comment down below and follow me for the journey. It really helps if you follow and subscribe, because that helps with all the analytics of it all. So please join me for the journey. I have some exciting things up ahead, not far away. So yeah, stay tuned and thank you all for listening. I'll see you next week. I'm so hot. I need to go out and have some lunch. Okay, bye. See you next week.